They are heartwarming tributes to our military personnel, and they seem to appear each week at professional sporting events. Little girls and young boys, their mothers or parents being surprised and reunited with a service member just returning from overseas. Or how about the Go Army logos on NASCAR race cars? Or the commercials touting our sea or air power? Ever wonder who pays for these marketing efforts? Carl, is it the taxpayers or the largest of the proud sports team? Hard for me to get that one out.
But you did. We're proud of you.
But thank you.
Well, it's definitely the taxpayers paying for all of it. The question is whether or not it's okay for the military to advertise. And of course it's okay for the military to advertise. We've been doing it forever. You go back and look at the history of military advertising going back as far back as World War I. We had a lot more business cooperation where businesses would do a lot of that also, but we also had the government buying a lot of advertising space, World War I, World War II, that kind of thing, the whole propaganda effort and all that. We've had military recruiting ads forever, not a darn thing wrong with that. That said, I personally object to the fact that we think that people like these sports teams who have all these enormous dedications to the military, we think the sports teams are just putting those on themselves out of patriotism. No, they're all getting paid for that.
Sure.
They're getting paid well, and they actually go as far as to hide it. But but that's also not unusual in corporate America. You'll look at ads, and you'll see. I saw the other day. I saw a guy out there singing "God Bless America." It was on YouTube, and you see the American flag flying, and the thing pans out a little bit, and you have a corporate flag flying right next to it. Now, come on.
Agreed.
I mean, corporations take advantage of that all the time. To me, it seems crass, but it's certainly not illegal.
Yeah, illegal is not illegal. How about it's really
Tasteless.
Bad taste.
Yeah, it's tasteless.
Because on the cars, when we talk about the Go Army on the NASCAR or Army National Guard on number 88, that is for recruiting purposes. But when that soldier or airman or Marine is reunited with his loved ones out on a baseball diamond, that's to highlight the veteran. And yet the Army or the Department of Defense is paying that team to reunite that veteran with their family. That's disgusting, in my opinion. If they want to advertise and recruit on NASCAR and billboards or what have you, airplanes, go for that. I believe it. 36-year career, you have to recruit. You have to appeal to the youth. But when you're using the veteran as a tool to get the hearts and the emotions,
corporations done it forever though. You go back and you look at World War II era advertising, you'll see models in uniform as though they are service members or service women drinking Coca-Cola or any other brand name product at the time, touting cigarettes or what have you.
Sure.
War bonds.
They were certainly doing that.
But how many of those corporations are your heroes, though? How many are your heroes? The Ravens, for an example, on this report, and I hope I don't step on any toes.
He's a Bronco fan.
I am.
As a Steelers fan,
but
if you want to say something about the Ravens,
then it's
Fred,
okay. I can do that.
Just fine.
$88,500 for military-themed towels paid by the Baltimore Ravens. $88,500. Paid to the Ravens for a military-themed towel to be handed out, and $49,000 for someone to sing the national anthem at a Milwaukee Brewers baseball game.
Well,
we
actually
paid them.
Okay,
did the singer get the $49,000, or did the team got the $49,000?
The team got the $49,000.
Because if the singer got the $49,000, I'm going to take less.
No, I've
heard need a lot.
Get your union card back out again.
That's okay.
I still have my musicians.
I know you do. I know you do.
And it just goes on and on and on about Dallas Mavericks, and there's so many of them, the sports teams, to include my own Broncos, as I mentioned earlier off camera, that I was part of that. And I didn't realize, I thought I was doing it because I was a veteran and I loved the Broncos, but they were using me. And wow.
So how much money have they spent on this in the last couple of years, say?
Well, they, about $10 million since 2012.
Of U.S. taxpayers' money.
Yes, for this purpose, to highlight veterans, veterans, not recruit, highlight veterans to these sports teams.
Well, how do you think it works? Does it work? Is this a good sense that the American people have when they see this occur? Is that helping recruiting?
The ads work, the recruiting works, reuniting the families is awesome.
Sure.
Paying the sports teams is just ridiculous because we all know the kind of funds and the kind of money that these professional sports organizations now have due to the large TV contracts.
Well, that's, I mean,
which drives the revenue
of
all those sports.
I can't argue against your point, but back to what Carl said, I mean, we've only been doing similar type things for literally 100 years.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing it during World War II, when you're in the middle of a war, that may be just a tad bit different.
Why?
Because we're actually in a war.
Sing your way out of that one.
It's my opinion. We can agree to disagree.
Well, I certainly don't mind the idea of advertising.
Yeah.
But, you know, let's advertise, make it obvious it's a government advertisement. Let's not make it obvious that it's a corporate contribution to the out of patriotism. That's what I object to.
Well, and see, and I'm sort of with Carl. I mean, could we solve this problem by some kind of a
put a big sign up that says paid for by U.S. taxpayers when they do this sort of thing.
Because this wasn't,
and it'll stop.
It wasn't
Why don't we
noted
just have the
until
National
just
Football
recently.
League pay for it, or Major League Baseball pay for it,
That's where it
Well,
should,
that'd
or
be
the
fine.
teams pay for it.
That'd be fine.
that's where it should be.
We would certainly agree with that. I think Carl and I are totally together. That would be the optimum to have that occur, because that's a sensing that viewers are getting when they see these events occur.
The viewers think that the team, look at my great football team. I'm so glad I'm a fan because look what they're doing.
I think the team ought to pay the government for letting them use the brand of the U.S. military for their advertising. That's what I think they ought to
It's a
do.
better
Good
idea.
point.
That's a step further than what I'm saying.
I think the Pittsburgh
Excellent point.
Steelers ought to pay off somebody for those Bumblebee uniforms.
But you know that
That's another
they
story.
usually win when they wear those.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Because they
They're
have to prove
ugly. They're
themselves.
so ugly.
That's
They're
exactly
so
right.
ugly.
I certainly hope there was no Army advertising when they took the field.
I have too many Pittsburgh Steelers friends out there to respond to that.
Yeah, but they seem to win when they wear them.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But they are intimidating in those uniforms, though. That's why they win.
Well, how
Yeah,
about
I
these?
guess.
How about these other things? I mean, that's where we started down this road. We talk about the pay for tribute, if you will, or tributes to the to returning veterans and the reuniting with their. But what about just simple advertising, like the logo on the NASCAR '88 car? What I mean, is that a bad thing?
No, I don't think it's bad. If it's effective. I mean, you can do all kinds of market studies to find out if it's effective, fine, do it. If it's not, stop it. But I don't particularly find that offensive. Everyone knows the ad that goes on in NASCAR is paid for by the sponsor. We all know that.
And it's not about veterans, though. They're not
Yeah,
promoting
true,
veterans.
true.
It's obvious. Go Army National Guard on 88.
Yeah.
It's
They know
recruiting.
that they're recruiting. I mean, it's anybody. Even I know that.
And the same thing could be said then, I guess, for the big Navy Sea Power ads. That's the one that, you know, I see on the television all the time, where the big aircraft carrier comes through, and we're promoting the fact that we have a most powerful Navy in the world, and
Sure.
Art,
go
that's
Navy.
fine.
That's all
That's
fine.
different.
That's all fine.
We sit here today and we talk about the people in this country basically don't know or didn't know or just recently found out that the U.S., us, the taxpayers, are paying for all these nice things that these sports teams are doing that we thought that the sports teams were actually paying for.
Sure. I mean,
That's
I mean,
I think is the issue.
I'm with you, and I find that totally and completely disgusting with the rest of it.
And there is
but-
legislation now to do away with that. We just need to see it through.
Sure. Johnny McCain and
Yep.
some of the others are really pushing to have some major changes in that type of thing.
And even the chief of the National Guard Bureau, and I'll try to paraphrase in the short time we have. Today's world, we have an all-volunteer force, okay, and we want to continue to maintain an all-volunteer force. And when you have about 5.5%, just over 0.5% of the population serving in uniform, you have to get the word out. Okay,
Or you just crash the economy and everybody go on a list anyway.
that
So
serves
that'll
his
be fine.
argument about Army National Guard on the 88 car. They're getting the word out.
Sure.
Under socialism, we all get a uniform, right?
Free. That's exactly right.
Free.
Yeah, that's exactly. Don't ever
Free.
forget it's free.
Well, everything is free, right? Nobody
Amen
pays
to
for
that.
anything. Well, I understand, though, that I get the last word on this
Yes,
one,
you
then,
do.
as
You do.
as well as should. We'll be back in about 3 minutes, and Carl will lead a discussion about the latest VA scandal, of course.